All right, what's going on, guys? Last day in the hinterlands, but today we're going to talk about how to build your own PBN in 2024. It should be a pretty black hat one, if it's not obvious enough. But please make sure you know why you want to build a PBN. It's not for everyone, and you have to be really careful. And especially if you build in public and you use a PBN, that's a big no-no. I personally wouldn't do that. So the sites that use my PBN, I don't talk about at all. You guys wouldn't even know it's mine. All right, so you have to be careful when utilizing a PBN. And you should probably shy away from the public eye when doing so. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, here we go. Let's get on the creatine first. It's 7:50 a.m. I have a podcast with James in about 30 minutes, so here we go. All right, let's go. All right, guys. So, if you quick call outs, could you comment PBN for the YouTube algorithm? Number one. Number two, we have a live stream tomorrow in exactly, I want to say 26 hours or 25 hours. I'm not sure if I'm doing the math correctly, but in either 25 or 26 hours, we have a live stream where I'm just going to answer a bunch of questions on the live stream. So if you guys have any questions at all about anything I do, comment in the comment section below and I'll answer them on the live stream tomorrow, or join the live stream and I'll answer it there. Anyways, so yesterday we did about $10,800 in total revenue. That's split between Amazon at $6,080, Mediavine at about $36.57, FanFuel and Cell Health at $53, which is pathetic. We might even just turn that off. Why am I even reporting that anymore? OnlyFans at about $1,040. Let's take a look at Amazon and Levanta. All right, so for Amazon, total ordered revenue yesterday was 112.6K. Multiplied that by 54. That's how we got to the, I think, $6,000 something in earnings. You could also see here, rough maths. You'll see it here. But yeah, 6.2K roughly. And Levanta yesterday, I think it was $1,043. Really solid. Levanta popping the fuck off. 100K in sales in the last 30 days. And that equates to 26.7K in commissions. That means roughly 25% in commissions. Pretty fucking sick. Get on that, guys. All right, so we're on episode 95, guys. 5 more episodes until episode 100. And we've set a goal of 10K subscribers, and I don't think we're that close to hitting it. I don't think we're going to hit it before episode 100. Pretty sad about that, but what are you going to do? All right. Yeah, before we jump into it, if you want access to this sheet, just to have like a working document, sign up for the first link in the description, and you'll get all my show notes from previous episodes, freaking like from episode 56 onwards. Anyways, so when you're building your own PBN, you have to really be careful because Google really cracks down on this. I've had probably hundreds of domains de-indexed from Google. And yeah, you just have to minimize the amount of footprints, meaning like things that lead to Google knowing for sure that it's your PBN. So let's talk about that. You have to be really careful. So you have to use different registrars for each domain, different hosting for each site. Different hosting is very crucial. So there's a lot of like PBN hostings like bulk buy hosting, which I use. You can even use bulk buy and then cloak it, some of them with Cloudflare to minimize footprints there. And you have to, if you're building from scratch, make sure you have a different day of domain registration. If you have like 100 domains all registered on the same day and they're all on like, it's kind of obvious, right? And then they all point to your domain, your money site in the end. It's too obvious. And make sure you minimize the amount of Google products you use. For example, you shouldn't have it linked to your Gmail, Google Analytics, probably I wouldn't be installed just because they can track your IP that way, Search Console, etc. And lastly, especially if you're in competitive niches and you're building a PBN for yourself and not selling links to others, what I like to do is I like niching down. So what that means is I wouldn't be building a tech blog on the PBN. I would be building a privacy or VPN blog, if that makes sense. So I really like to niche down and then dominate a niche. For example, I have a VPN PBN. I think it's like 30, 40 something sites, and I use that only for myself. And I target VPN keywords around the world, and it works fucking amazing. All right. I juice it up, and let's talk about the types of ways to get the domains, because I think that's probably what most people will struggle with, because AI content is pretty easy. Keyword research, you guys probably learned if you've been following my series. But I think the domain side is probably the hardest. So you can do it two ways. You can either build from scratch or buy expired or auction or dropped domains. Let's talk about the expired domains. So the benefits of expired domains are it has way more link juice, so you don't have to build links to those pages. But you have to make sure there's a couple things to watch out for. Number one, you have to make sure it hasn't been spammed to death already. So what I like to do is like to go to archive.org and then just see the way back instances and make sure it wasn't like a casino site, a Japanese casino site on there before, so on and so forth. So you just make sure it wasn't spammed. And what I like to do is I like to rebuild the site onto this what it used to be using archive. I like using Archivarix. I linked it here. Just guys, trust me, is the best way to rebuild the site from archive. I've tried them all, so just go with this one. And they even have their own custom CMS, but you can also have an option to build it on WordPress. And then after I rebuild the site, so let's say indexy.com is dropped for it goes to auction, someone picks it up. You can rebuild indexy.com exactly how it looks using this app. And after I rebuild it, I let it simmer for maybe 2 to 3 months before I do anything with it. Don't touch it at all. So you want to tell Google that, hey, we're back. Small hiccup. We lost our domain temporarily. We're back now. So after it's been simmering for about 2 to 3 months on this expired or auction domain, I like to test out the links. So what I do is I do a toxicity test. So on a competitor. So for example, I don't know what, some competitor down the street, like a local SEO competitor, they rank maybe on the second page for the physiotherapy Vancouver keyword. And I would point a single link to that page from my PBN to the competitor. And then you start tracking the competitor's rankings. If it goes up in the next couple of weeks, then you can kind of conclude that, hey, it was pretty, the PBN does something. If it goes down or if it really tanks the page, then you can safely assume, because most of the local competitors, they don't really build backlinks. So building one really moves the needle. So if you see that the page drops, you can safely conclude that your link is toxic, and you probably didn't do a good job of filtering out the garbage for the expired or auction domain. I like to do a toxicity test because you don't want to spend all this time and then have the PBN be toxic and kind of tank your money site. So I like to do this toxicity test. Anyways, let's talk about from scratch domain. This is pretty easy. I think it's relatively straightforward. You try to build it like a niche site, right? From scratch. I think if you guys have watched my videos, you probably understand how to build it from scratch. And I think PBNs in 2024, you should try to focus to build it like a link farm where it has true organic traffic. And yeah, you just try to target a fuck ton of low competition keywords, and you can juice it up using the foundational links, which I talked about 4 episodes ago. And make sure, a couple tips when building links from your PBN, your newly built PBN, let's say in 3 to 6 months, to your money site. Remember that you can build links from the homepage, which will be the juiciest, the most amount of link juice the largest needle mover, but it's also the riskiest. So use it at your own discretion. Don't like spam homepage links from your PBN to your money site. Sprinkle in 1 or 2 homepage links, and then the majority will be from the blog. All right. This was a super quick rundown on how to build your own PBN. If you guys like this episode, remember to comment PBN. And if you guys have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section below, and I'll answer them during the live stream tomorrow. But I'll spend the next 3 to 4 minutes answering questions. Hey, John, thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. Jason, what's going on? With these methods for backlinks, should we be doing these for every single blog post that needs help ranking? Guest post for the algo. And Bruce says, I second this question. We have 1,000 main keywords, 1,000 pages, all competitive. Then building 5 to 10 guest posts for each of them will be an insane amount of cash. Another option is to split it into categories, write list goals for each of them with internal links, then build links on those list goals. The main problems here, anchor text, we no longer use exact match, and link you choose to spread them out, so the effectiveness drops significantly. So what to do? So I think when you're building backlinks, majority, as I mentioned in previous episodes, should be on the homepage, because homepage actually kind of raises rankings for all the pages, and then you kind of let the link juice flow throughout the site, if that makes sense, and you make sure you have like a really tight site architecture for that. So I would say you do 80% homepage, 20% subdirectory, single blog post backlinks, but even then you kind of sprinkle them. You do like 1 link per post. If you do too aggressive, you're gonna get fucking clapped, so be careful. All right. Mike Lab was going on. When starting a rank and rent site, do you need a phone number to collect the contact info as well? If so, is there a service you can use? Thanks. I use CallScaler, but you don't really need a phone number to collect in the beginning. Paulo, what's going on? Guest post. Can you go over your process when starting off a fresh site? Like, what should my priorities be? Get the site running with the domain and hosting. I assume this will be the first, then keyword research. How many articles and blogs should I pump out before I start looking at backlinks and niche edit links? Then what would be the next step after that? Thanks in advance. Domain and hosting, obviously. That will be first. Then you do keyword research. Keyword research probably shouldn't take too long. And how many articles and blogs should I pump out? I would say hundreds, especially in the world of AI, before you even look at other things. Clint, what's going on? Appreciate the thank you. This guy is about to close a local newspaper partnership. I think it's a cool idea to have this as a case study for the channel. You would just tell me what to do. We track the progress so us newbies can learn and see the basics. If you're down, I'm down. Let's do it. If it's in German, we could do it together. Marcus, what's going on? Building niche edits and guest posts. When you talk about homepage links for DR, is it from or to a homepage? It's from and pointing to the homepage most of the time. But to answer your question, I'm guessing what you mean is from. Thanks for the comment. Guys, I think I might stop allowing people to hijack comments, but for local partnerships, decent DR, low steady traffic, is it best to only create affiliate articles, or is it worth to create info articles as well? It's also definitely worth to build info articles. All right, so definitely do that. Do you build links to your partnership sites, affiliate articles? Yes, but not much. What's the best way to organize a coffee catch-up? I'm in Perth. I'll DM me on Twitter, and we can schedule something. All right. Jackie, one of my sites is changing positions between 8 to 20 daily. 2 keywords, KD 35 36, volume 230 and 250K. That's a lot. Top 2 positions have 0 backlinks. I suspect they're using CTR manipulations. Other sites have DA up to 25. My site is DA 10 with a few 80 backlinks. On page is good. I'm thinking go for CTR manipulation. What would I do? In your case, I would test 1 or 2 backlinks, see how that moves the needle. But CTR manipulation should be your last resort. It shouldn't be your first thing. And your suspicion of them using CTR manipulation is probably wrong. Not many people do that. But yeah, guys, that's all the time I have for today. I gotta hop on a podcast. If you guys have any questions at all, I'll answer them in the podcast or in the live stream tomorrow. So make sure to go into my YouTube channel, by the way, and go under live, and you'll see my upcoming stream, and make sure to be notified. And that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow during the live stream. All right, take it easy.